will be discussing it.
Is that what you feel? Can you hear it?
Well, I couldn't do my Shining music, although I could from all the references. But anyway, yes, we're going to be discussing it. Author,
as we all know,
my favorite, Stephen King.
It's actually the wrong.
Okay, so today we're going to discuss the It book versus the 1990 movie adaptation or television series adaptation.
Yes, it was like a mini series that came on November 19th versus the 20th, and it was like a 1 hour and hour and a half each, which was kind of weird, but
okay,
it's a 3-hour total movie from 1990. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
90s.
What?
So yeah.
Okay, so first of all, let's just discuss the book. Very long.
I don't understand the 1,000 pages. I feel like we could have reduced it.
But well worth it.
It was just the longest book I think I've ever read in my life.
I never want to do that again.
It was so worth it, but it just was very long.
It was 1,000% worth it. But
Yes.
I mean, I think like a lot of it developed the characters and who each individual character was, and a lot of references to the 1950s and 1980s that I wasn't ready for. But it happened and it was good.
What was it? Nigga Joe? Nigga Joe?
Nigga Joe. But we're not gonna talk about that.
We gonna do that?
We're going to skip right past that.
I can say it. It was in the book.
Okay, that's true. It was.
But Lynn, I recall you calling me saying it's so much unnecessary information.
I just feel like I didn't need that much character development.
Much.
Oh, there definitely was. But I mean, I don't know how to filter out the part that I didn't want versus the part that I did want. But it was so much. And I get why this book has like a cult following behind it, because it is very good. It's so detailed. But guys, so much reading in this one book.
Yes. You gotta scare the crap out of you.
But half of it wasn't even scary because I was just reading about like
Took up a
these
lot of my life.
random things that I feel like I needed more scariness and not like his placebo versus gazebo.
Right.
All I know is it was kind of
That was
spooky.
funny, by the way.
It was very
was,
spooky.
yeah.
It was spooky to me. I mean, it just...
The book?
yeah, the book.
If you think about like
Everything.
the concept behind it, it definitely is scary or spooky.
Yeah.
I think that the 1990 version of the movie stayed true to the book.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
they did a really good job following the storyline.
And I like how it jumped back and forth to them being older, them being younger, just how the book did. Which did throw me off at first because I kept forgetting if they were old or young, and then it had to like
You had to go
regroup
back.
my head again. But then I do like how it followed the book per se.
Yeah.
It did.
To
be honest, that really does keep me entertained, because I can get lost in a book very quickly.
He know that.
Who, you? Really? What?
Not really.
Did you become Pennywise?
I
or
don't
did you
mean
become
that
Bill?
kind of lost. I mean, I can get lost in trying to understand what the heck is going on sometimes. But because I trail off. But when they go from old to young, or like a lot of
Back and forth?
switching back and forth in time, that keeps my head churning more, because I got to pay attention. Where are we? What are we doing? Who are we?
I worry about you, Rhea. I worry about you.
Where we come from?
For me, I have to like recenter to realize that, oh yeah, they're young. And then halfway through like a major chapter, I'm like, wait, how old are they again?
Yeah.
So my ADD takes me fully away somewhere else. So I struggle with it for a while. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, yeah, you can read a chapter and be like, wait, were they old or... No, that doesn't make sense. They had to have been young.
Yes, exactly.
This 1990 version, the miniseries, there was one thing that I just didn't like, and it was the Bev fighting her husband scene. I don't know, when I read it in the book, I pictured her husband, this grimy guy, beating her down, like with his white tank top on at the door. I'm gonna kill you.
So with the wife beater. Got it.
Exactly. But in the 1990 version, he was like this corporate whatever, so polished, and I'm like...
See, that's what I envisioned when I was reading the book.
I liked it that way.
I thought he would be like with the bat in his hand and the beer in his other hand, and just, I don't know why
Kind
I
of like
pictured
her
him.
father.
Yeah.
Well, I pictured it was like her father, but then in this in her new life. So like her new life was this glitz and glam, and she had to always have this brave face on. And it was a powerful man that she was following too, but he was still that same guy that once they were home was in the wife beater ready to like knock her teeth out.
Right.
So how the movie came out, I envisioned it the same way.
I did too, because I felt like it was a lot easier for her to not recognize that she was falling for the same type of person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
he was so
corporate.
polished.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
too.
I really wanted more aggressiveness with the beating. Like when I read the because when you read the book, you felt like when you read the book, you felt like it was such a struggle for her to get out of there. But when you watched the movie, it was just kind of like, let me throw a couple of things and then run down the stairs and leave.
Oh, I definitely get what you're saying now.
I think
at first I was like, what are you talking about?
You can talk off the record.
Exactly.
I think in the book, the way they had the girlfriend in there too also helped identify that she goes through this all the time, and it was really strong for her to finally say, I'm done.
Right.
So I think when they didn't include that in that, you missed that point.
Right. So I was disappointed that the girlfriend wasn't in there too. So that was the other point that I wanted to raise.
That's really the only thing that I noticed. Well, there was a couple things, but that was probably the biggest thing that I noticed that wasn't in that 90 version. And of course the ending.
Do you want to go straight into the ending? The fact that they didn't run a train on Bev at the end like they did in the book?
Well, you say that, and I say that she did not give herself to the world to show her love, to
when
bring them all together.
Guys have sex with you, one right after another, from my historical knowledge, that's called a train.
I literally had to reread that part so many times because I was in denial that I was reading that. Wait, what are you inserting where? And who? Oh, and who's next? Oh no, I'm not reading that correctly. Let me just back that up. Let me back that up a few times. I was like, it's not happening. It's not happening. Nope.
Yes,
So
Stephen King got me on that one. I'm like, there was so much more he could have done.
I don't know why that was necessary.
But in the series, did you notice that the older version of everybody, like John Ritter and Ben Heller, like everybody in the older version, they were all hugging all over Bev all the time, rubbing her shoulders, doing all of this.
Yeah.
It was so much affection towards her, just the touchy-feely thing.
Which would not fly right now in this day and age.
And I just feel like maybe they did that because they didn't show the train scene.
Right.
But, I don't know. I don't understand the purpose of that train. I don't understand what that did to kill Pennywise. I missed it. I don't get it.
I was actually hoping the
sealed
movie...
the connection between all of them.
No. So I was really hoping that...
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that version.
Anyway.
I was really hoping that like the movies help explain that scene to me, because I just did not get the purpose of it and how it banished. Not banished because he came back later, but how that even pertained to him just being dead or gone. Like, I don't understand.
How they thought they killed him by running a train.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
I'm assuming the director felt the same way because
he took it out.
We'll just X this out.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, yeah, we don't really need that.
So that part I didn't understand. There is one thing that I did like about the 1990 movie that kind of stuck out to me was Tim Curry's character, which is Pennywise. He was a real person. He looked like a real person. And to me, if a kid's gonna go up to a clown that's talking to them and hidden in a corner at the same time, it has to be relatable. It has to be somewhat realistic, somewhat kind of inviting versus a monster-looking clown. So, because if I see a monster-looking clown as an adult, I'm not going up to that. So as a kid, there's no way I'm going up to like a clown that looks weird. So Tim Curry's actor or portrayal of this character, I really enjoyed because he looked like a real clown.
Can you do the Pennywise dance for us?
I love it.
What y'all think about Tim Reed playing Mike?
No.
No? You didn't like him playing Mike?
I don't think he plays anything very well. Sorry, Tim.
You're not a Tim Reed fan?
I am not. He's horrible.
Sister.
You know.
Oh, sorry.
I love Sister, though. But no.
I didn't like him in that.
You didn't like Tim Reed?
Not particularly.
He seemed so mundane and just like, too calm.
Right.
I get he was the only one that stayed in the town, but he just seemed like the odd man out, like the odd actor out. Not even the odd man out. It was the odd actor out to me.
Right. I agree with that.
I know I jumped right into that casting, but for some reason Tim.
Well, I kind of buffered into it with Tim Curry and being Pennywise, so it's okay. You're good. You're good.
Okay, so in this version, Bev's encounter with Mrs. Kirsch when she was walking around the town, I thought that they portrayed that perfectly. Compared to how they wrote it in the book, when she like went into the house and she was stirring the tea and it got bloody or whatever. I mean, even though the graphics weren't so great because it was 1990, I just feel like they nailed that
really
piece.
Good. Yeah.
I feel like for 1990 graphics, it was a good scene.
Yeah.
Because I know we're rewatching it now, 27 years later. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was, at that time, good graphics. Because, it looked like, I don't know, literally like water and like dye.
I remember that being terrifying for me to watch that.
Oh, really?
I remember being terrified.
I mean, they've changed around the viscosity of blood, but right then and there in the 1990 era, it looked like blood.
Mm-hmm. But the one thing that drove me crazy in that 1990 version, like, there was no point, unless I missed it, dozed off or something, where Bill told them, okay, walk around town. So you didn't quite know why they just started walking off by themselves. In the book, he said, you guys walk around because you need to make that connection. But in the 1990 version, I don't remember that conversation. It was just like they all just started walking around.
Yeah, I don't remember that conversation either.
I feel like it was more of, I guess, an individual wanting to connect to their history in the 1990 version. Because in the book, it definitely was like everybody needs to go out, find their memory or memories. But in this one, it was kind of like, I really don't remember. So I'm just going to kind of go out and venture myself.
Oh, okay.
Is what I kind of saw it as.
Okay.
Versus it being told to.
Yeah.
And I get that it was off, but that's how I perceived it.
Okay. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. In this version, I really like how Bill explained why he put Aubrey, is that how you pronounce her name? Aubrey, his wife?
Yes.
Aubrey?
Yes.
Why he put her on the bike. Because that wasn't necessarily explained in the book. But in the movie, he said, this bike saved Ben's life and it saved my life and I hope that it'll save your life too. And he put her on the bike and rode her around.
You talking about?
You're right. Weird.
You talking about Hi-Ho Silver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember when he put her on the bike to kind of get her out of her catatonic state?
You're right. I didn't think about that.
In the movie, he said why he was putting her on the bike. But when I was reading the book, I'm like, well, what is he putting her on the bike for?
Right.
I feel like the movie went on to explain, or the series went on to explain it. And that was helpful for me because I couldn't understand how putting her on the bike was going to...
Yeah, still didn't understand.
Break her out of it. But maybe the bike
scared the hell out of her.
Yeah, right, basically.
it did.
Going down a hill through traffic.
As big as we are on a bike.
Right.
Exactly.
Or at least
And you
what
got me
made
sitting
him
in the
think
front.
about doing it. Like, why are you doing it? But the book was like, it saved our lives, it saved this. And then another thing about Hi-Ho Silver, the bike, it was described in the book as this crazy huge bike that was just bigger than life, and it was so much bigger than him.
Right.
And it wasn't displayed that way in the movie.
Well, it seems like a big bike to a little kid.
It wasn't a big bike.
Not in the
series.
movie. Yeah.
What did we think about the casting?
I thought they did a good job with casting, actually.
I agree. I like the casting. I mean, all around with all like the young characters versus the old characters. I like all of them.
I don't know about John Ritter though. I
because I took a deep breath and said the same thing.
Oh, sorry, I took it right out of your mouth because he was not the skinny fit Ben that was described in the book.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was a little awkward to me.
And it's hard to watch him and not just see Three's Company.
I was about to say the same
Because
thing.
I don't think he's the best actor.
No.
I was thinking about Three's Company, but what's the other one? Not Child's Play.
Problem Child.
Problem Child.
Yeah.
And I was literally just picturing that, and then I had to remember that, this is before that, so get yourself together.
But it's hard. It's so hard to...
But it definitely, he's not the character that I thought of as Ben, older, fit, life together.
I didn't like John Boy. Was that John Boy?
Yes, I didn't.
Wait,
What's his real name? I can't think of his real name.
You should figure that out because I have no idea what you're talking about.
No idea
Richard
what you're talking
Thomas.
about.
That was Bill.
Is John Boy his name in the movie?
No, John Boy was his name from the show that he used to be on.
The Waltons.
Yes, thank you.
Because he had a ponytail.
Exactly.
Night, John Boy.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly
Like
like
the guy with the ponytail mullet.
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember him
was
being in
that
John Boy, but yeah, I remember him.
That's him. You can tell
I
by
can't
the
remember.
birthmark.
Richard Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So I didn't like him in his role, and I don't know if you guys remember in that series, there was a scene where they were all outside and they were holding hands in a circle, and it got dark, and they were all looking up to the sky. He looked so
never seen
ridiculous. It was so dumb that I'm like,
God.
what is this? I'm calling him John Boy, but I guess Richard Thomas. I'm like, wow, he's horrible. It's
Yeah,
like-
he was a bad actor.
And he was the bully, right?
No, he played Bill.
He was Bill.
Oh,
He played
He
Bill.
was Bill.
He played Bill in this one. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know that I liked him as
I
Bill.
liked his wife though.
Audra.
She was good.
Yeah.
Audra.
Yeah,
With
she
her little
fit them
French
all.
accent or whatever.
And
accent was.
both Eddies loved them.
Yes.
I loved
Yes.
both
Yeah, I
Eddies.
did
like
too.
exactly how I pictured from the book.
I agree.
Exactly how I
What, the old and the new?
the old and the new.
Okay.
I agree.
Or old and young. Young and old. whatever
and
you wanna
old,
say.
yeah.
Both of those. Tim Reed blew me. Marlon is no big deal.
Gonna rattle through these, huh?
Tim Reed just blew
Where
me.
was Marlon?
And I don't necessarily know. Marlon was the younger version of him.
Okay.
I
Did
still
they
think.
change the storyline on this one as it related to Mike's family and the burning down of the shack?
No.
I can't remember. Did
I
they?
don't remember that.
No, they didn't.
So it was
Okay.
the same in this one? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And I
I
thought.
didn't remember him losing his parents in the book, and in both of these, he lost his parents, right?
Yeah, his
was living-
parents were the ones that were burned.
No, but in the book, he didn't lose his parents because his father was the one. He had a relationship with his father that was telling him to stay away from people or
Yes.
something. So his father was in the book, but in
Before
this
he burned?
series, his father died in a fire. His father and mother died in a fire.
I thought that just happened to take place before they burned.
I don't know.
Like he told him because they were old enough where he could have had a relationship before he died.
Then maybe I missed it, but I thought his father was alive in the book because his father was the one trying to help him from that little boy that was chasing him from Henry. Mm-hmm. And that was just, it all happened around the same time. So.
And the father, oh, you're right, because the father died telling him about what happened in
Oh, in the town. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
He gave him that book of photo album that he showed the class.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just reflecting on him. He had cancer or something.
Yeah.
So it could have happened just before that.
Could have.
I don't know. My time, with a 1,000-page book, I forget what took place in the beginning of the book once I get to the end.
Actually, it was
That's hard to do.
1,138 pages.
God.
I'm like,
Yes.
I don't know what happened at the beginning of the story.
That's funny.
All right, y'all want to give this version a rating?
Wait, how about Henry, the bully? Because I liked him.
Yeah, he's a good bully.
He was a very good actor.
I agree.
It was hilarious. It just they really did a good job.
Okay, so now
Wait a
we're
minute,
rating.
I was back to Beverly.
Nope, we're back.
Okay, Bev.
Bev, young version I got because I didn't mind her too much. She just
Right. Oh, no, the older one I liked. She was, she acted like she was real nervous when she was in the office with the husband. When he was talking to her, like, straighten up or whatever, you gotta go in here. And she was just looking at him like shaking or whatever. So I do remember
Oh,
her,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, she was okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It wasn't the actor that I would have selected for the older version of Bev. I was thinking more of a Farrah Fawcett type.
There you go. Hooked
What?
on that blonde look.
No, it wasn't that look. It was just, I thought she would be a little more glamorous
I didn't.
as she got older because of the line of work.
I thought
that
she was a good
did.
fit.
Okay, so what we gonna do? Come to a vote? Oh, sorry.
So I will start it off and
Start what off?
the ratings.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna start this thing off right. Okay, go ahead.
I need you to get yourself together.
Okay.
For like 2
Do it
seconds.
very soon.
Yes, please, for the rest of us. So, like I was saying, I give it a full class. I think that I really enjoyed how it bounced back and forth from young to old to young to old, and it was pretty accurate with the book, so I give it a full class.
I get a full glass too. This is Raya.
And I will also give it a full glass. I felt like the movie and book were spot on. So, full glass for me.
And this is Treva, and I give it a full glass also.
You know what that means?
A full bottle!
Did we just meow?
I didn't say meow. I said, oh.
It sounded like a meow.
The end of the book. Oh, that one didn't hurt that bad. And then
What? We're not doing this.
was talking. I couldn't let it go.
We're not doing that.
I don't understand. I'm too
The actual ending of the book.
When she was
like each one tried. That one's not good. One was okay.
I don't want to think about it. Oh my god. So if you have not read the book and you just watched the movies, you just gotta read the book, and I need to
Buy it, read it.
how you
Take a
felt
year
about that ending.
off of work and read the book.
It's gonna take you some time to get through 1,139 pages.
Yeah, it's a good year.
But it's interesting. I mean,
It's good though.
Yeah, I agree. I think people should read it. We got our full bottle.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in for the 1990 version of It, and see you later. Talk to you later.